Hi, this is my nature walk video. I chose the Darwin brick for my walk with a sign language, blending some math occasionally. The First Nation people connected to the land around Darwin brick are the voluntary Woiwurrung people, who are part of the Kulin Nation and spoke the Woiwurrung language. I'm using CapCut art for my presentations. I use the Darwin brick to understand different areas of science in the nature. I could see the biological science through different elements such as plants, birds, water flow, rocks, air, wind, and so on. During my first work, the sky was clear and bright, mixing white clouds and the blue in the background. The different budget and the white clouds in the sky looked like a fairy float. As the clouds were moving, their shapes and patterns were changed. And space and science learning opportunity is led by Widell Lubinski 2020. The water was flowing on the bricks roughly through the blocks with a little surging, and some bubbles come up as the water was poured down from the height. The water looked clear and then drift along in a gentle flow, indicate to the biological and geography science. Sitting by the bank, observing the surrounding with my senses, I felt a strong connection with the nature in the fresh air and wanted to keep that relaxed and peaceful moment longer. As looking up, the tree were next to me. It was only the branches that's waving with the wind. It reflected the cold season is still around and the adaptation of each species with the weather differently. So even they are growing in the same environment and land area, the biological science and indicated clear here. Physics, geography, earth, environmental, atmospheric science I recognize. As working along the brick, the strong wind flew over the trees, flowers, and slapped on my face. I noticed the wind's direction was the same direction of the water flowing. The sound of the wings swaying on each kind of trees are different according to the size, the leaf shapes, and the texture. But the beautiful weather was inviting lots of birds together. My eyes caught a couple of birds were working together with the same tune, while two groups of trees were dancing on their feet to look for the food and chit-chat each other. Several birds spread its wings and could fly slightly in the low level. As I reached closer, a little bit math here and a science including biology and ecology and physics. My second visit is about to set. There were lots of physics science and environmental science to feel and share. As the sunset lighted up across the land over the trees and rocks with its glow. This time in the break, the water cascaded down in torrent, and with a stronger speed over the big rocks, there were lots of bubbles on the surface on the lower level. The water color was darker. The sound of the water pouring, flowing was louder and noisier. The observation linked to the geography of the creek and the low tide and high tide to impact the water flowing. That happened 2018. As science has shown, as I found on the rock I was standing, there were a lot of patches of green moss and a rectangle water hole with the water from the rain, I believe. A little bit math science here. The moss felt gravity on my fingers as touching. It's supported by Jackson 2017. Reaching closer the creek, I found some white giant flowers were blooming and swinging with the wind beside other species by the bank, with moist smoke and wet air in the late afternoon. It's an earth science. Biological science shown. As I observe the backs of the tree trunk was are very various. Depends on its kind, such as brown, gray, green, with rough or smooth surface. That's why 2019. The moment that I walked in and connected with the nature with all my senses, I truly turned back and connected with my inner to affirm my identities about the belonging, being, and becoming. I'm practicing of using non-linear aboriginal way for my workshop to start with the surrounding of the brick and move closer and pick and focus on each detail of the place. Thank you for listening and watching my video.